Hello!
Oh, we've started. You don't do any kind of anything to start.
I mean, usually I'm trying.
There's just no formula.
There's no formula, and I feel like the last few episodes we've been like really chill about our start. We've just been like, hey everybody, how's it going? So I was trying to give us like boom, we're here. We've arrived. We're doing the episode moment. Hello.
Well, we're up and running. Hope you're joining us from your run, your commute.
Yes. Where do you listen to podcasts the most?
I no longer commute. That was by far
Right.
the main time.
Right.
Now it's when I work out.
Yeah. I feel like that's the time that I get to listen to pods, and also that's the time that we have been listening to Masterclass. We love a Masterclass.
We do. We were trying to watch a masterclass together for a while, and so okay. We're gonna talk about our sleep.
Tell the people.
A little bit.
Tell the people.
You like to fall asleep to television.
Yes.
I don't mind television. I like darkness.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm a little inconsistent because sometimes I'm happy with the TV being on. Other times I just want it quiet. It doesn't matter. What matters is we couldn't watch Masterclass together because I couldn't stay awake.
We tried.
And it's too important.
Yeah, we're really trying to learn something new. Obviously, it's Masterclass. Like, we really are striving to learn something. So
it's not a fall asleep show.
Yeah, it's not a fall asleep show. We have our fall asleep shows. What's your favorite fall asleep show?
You know.
Shall we say it together?
The Great British Baking Show. It is just delightful.
It's the best show ever.
The calm British voices. I love the cutaways to the nature, the animals. Occasionally, you'll get a bunny hopping around the tent.
A little squirrel with an acorn, you know? A random sheep in the pasture.
And you'll stay awake for the whole episode. So you'll have to rewatch an episode 3-4 times.
I really do.
It's great because they release once a week.
Yes.
And so by the end of the week, I will have made it through the epised.
Yes.
You will have seen it 4 times.
Yes. And you know what? Who's complaining? Not me. I love it. I will watch it. I've said this before. I will say it again. Collection 9, Giuseppe's season.
Giuseppe.
Jurgen, Christelle.
The greatest.
Chigs. I feel like they're my friends. If y'all are watching this, big fans. Big fans of that. It's to the point where, like, I know Noel and Matt's jokes in that episode. Like, it's like really bad. I've rewatched that season. I mean,
well, it was our pandemic season.
It was the pandemic season.
It was so.
That's
when I was gonna say that's when I discovered it, but it's not.
No,
I discovered it when I got cast as the baker in a production of Into the Woods, and I wanted to learn how to bake, and so for research, we watched The Great British Baking Show, and I was like, this is the greatest television program I have ever seen.
I think we started you off hot, too, because we just gave you Bread Week.
Well, I started with the Mary Berry years.
Whoa. Throwback.
Yeah, and we did go right into Bread Week, you're right.
Yeah, because you were just like, I was trying to explain, like, kneading bread and all that stuff and, like, what that entails.
You taught me how to make some bread.
I did. We made dinner rolls. Yeah, it was fantastic. You did a great job.
Well, because I said, I think my baker for Into the Woods is a very practical baker.
Right.
He's baking bread, mostly.
Yeah.
It's certainly not patisserie.
No. I commend you on your bread making skills, because the hardest part of making the bread, I think, is just kneading the dough and knowing when you are done kneading the dough, because you don't want to over knead it. Obviously, you know this now. But because, like, this is not me, like, hyping you up or anything, but literally because you are so strong, because you have strong arms, kneading the dough was, like, really easy for you.
You can keep going.
Okay. It's true. Kneading the dough was so easy. I feel like I'm also short, so, like, any countertop for me is just, like, a struggle.
You posted that. You made something at Christmas where you were jumping. Yeah, it was pan de sal.
I was making it with one of your aunties, and I mean, just to knead the dough, I had to jump on top of the counter to do it. I mean, it was, yeah, that was madness.
Speaking of the aunties, just got back from a ski trip.
Yes, you did.
My first in 17 years. Um, and I came back injury free. And that's really, really a big win. I can't believe we're going to be talking about travel again today
Isn't that
because we
wild?
just talked about the Nashville episode.
Yeah.
And after we got back from our honeymoon, we did not travel.
No.
This is definitely the most one of us has traveled since returning, since Michael's been born, for sure.
Absolutely. Yeah, I don't know if this is kind of a result of us uh end of last year, beginning of this year wanting to say yes to more, but like we turned down trips, since Bali. We have definitely turned down a few trips that we could have taken, and it has been nice and fun to like
Yeah.
have not obviously we're not going all the way to Bali, but like a little bit of a travel bug again. It's kind of cool.
It was great. It was my two aunties and my dad, and I just really prioritized the ski trip this year because they've been going the last few years, and I haven't. And yeah, I haven't been on skis, like I said, in over a decade. I don't know. It was something they loved. They love it. Like my dad and one of my aunties were ski instructors back in the day, so it's definitely a thing. And I was pretty good back in high school. I had a season pass. I lived in Utah. I was totally spoiled. I was 30 minutes away from Alta and Snowbird, which is like a world-class ski resort, and then Park City was like 45 minutes away. That's where the Olympics were hosted. I mean, it was incredible. It was world-class, and it was really close by. And now it's much less convenient, and I just haven't been in so long. But I wanted to go. I wanted to be there with them. It was really important to me, and you made the space for it, and that's what we want to talk about today is solo parenting. We talk about how much we get done on here all the time, but I mean, when something is important to either one of us, it's a massive gift that we have the other one to
step up and like take that responsibility and make that happen for sure.
Yeah, there's no other way
No.
we could do all the things that we do. So the ski trip was a great example of a time where then you had to solo parent.
I solo parented, but I also had the, again, incredible help of your mom being there because I had to teach. So I needed.
Yeah. So for part of, because I was gone for 3 days. So for part of it, you needed.
Yeah, I needed a little. I needed a little assistance because I was like, what am I going to do with Michael while I am teaching my kids? And thank goodness your parents live close enough for us to make that happen. But there were a couple days where it was just me and the boy.
Yeah, you had like a full day and then another half day.
Getting him down there
when you were on your own.
And it was delightful.
Yeah.
I love it. And I mean, I guess we wanted to just talk about it today just because there are of course challenges with solo parenting. I feel like on a day-to-day basis it's nice to know that like eventually you will come home from work and like if I have to pee or like if you like a lot of times you're in charge of dinner, so like I know that dinner will eventually like get on the table and it's all good. So like I think on a day-to-day basis, as much as I solo parent him while you're at work, like there's always that relief of like, okay, it's all good. He's gonna come home. We'll be set. It'll be fun. We'll have our family time. But yeah, having that time with him is so special. And you've had to solo parent too, so I know you can speak to it. But like getting to just be with my son is, I don't know, it's so much fun. I love it.
There's a lot that I love about it too.
It's really special.
I love the zoo with just the two of us.
It's so cute.
I love an activity where it's just the boys.
It's just the boys.
Yeah.
It's really sweet. It's really sweet. And I know he loves it too.
I think so.
Yeah.
I mean, Uh, we have his full attention when it's just one of us, you know.
And he knows it. And he loves it. I think
he loves, yes, that he has our full attention, but I meant we have his full attention.
Yes.
Like, it's just me. And he'll ask, like, where mama? You know, but,
this is a good impression of him.
Where mama?
He's also, it's like, I feel like when he's looking for things at this point in his life, it's like catastrophic in his head. So sometimes he'll go, oh no! He calls fire trucks wee-wees. So a lot of times, like, if we see one, he'll be like, more. And I'm like, okay, well, let's see if we can find one. He'll go, oh no! Where wee-wee? It's for our listeners who aren't watching this on YouTube, it's the, like, surprised face with the hands all the way up, and then the, like, just the sheer devastation and, like, desperation of where is this thing I'm looking for. It's always a joy.
So, yeah, it's a joy. It has its challenges, but I think I don't know if I would say maddest you've gotten at me, but the biggest challenge you faced with solo parenting was actually with our other child. A week after we got Dee Dee, this had been planned for quite some time. It was my bachelor party weekend. And it was just me and my best man fly fishing up north.
Pandemic times.
The Lakers were in the bubble championship. You watched that without me. So the one championship any of our sports franchises have
I don't know.
in the whole time we've been dating, you were not with me.
Yeah.
And Dee Dee was not potty trained. And I heard about it.
It's hilarious to me that thinking back on that time, that felt more difficult with solo parenting Dee Dee than it did solo parenting Michael. Genuinely. Which is crazy. Dee Dee wasn't a difficult dog. She was just a normal, like, puppy who wasn't potty trained yet. And that's okay. I was furious that you weren't here for Dee Dee. And for me, it was so difficult. She had so many accidents while you were gone.
Yeah.
It was madness and chaos. Here's the thing. It was one of those things where I was like, I understand, like you said, the trip had been planned for quite some time. And it wasn't going to move just because we had gotten a dog. Like, of course you were going to go on the trip. But my goodness, that was the struggle of all struggles for me. But I was able to handle the baby.
But there's no way that's actually harder. It's just that Michael is a little bit older now.
Yes.
Dee Dee now, that's literally nothing.
Oh, I could.
But take that to Michael newborn. Week 1.
Yes.
Week 1, I tell you, listen, you know, your pregnancy has been a lot on me. I'm going golfing with the guys for 3 days. Now that
I would have been like, yo.
I wouldn't have survived that.
I mean,
take solo parenting newborn Michael. I mean, there are human beings who would do it.
Oh, there are absolutely human beings who would do it. You did a soft version of it. Not even a soft
I don't
version
mean I didn't mean human beings who would do, like, leave for a golf trip. I mean parents who have to solo parent.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I do remember in the beginning times of Michael, you started a basketball league.
Oh boy.
It's happening. But this is going to end well for you, I promise.
I don't see how this ends well, but I'm ready to listen.
Here's the thing. I think everybody understands and knows how much we love sports in this house, just in general.
Yeah.
Basketball, baseball are obviously our top two.
Yeah.
We love it so much. And you had started this basketball league at work. I was so excited for it, genuinely so excited for it. And then we had Bebe. And I think every parent can relate to those first few weeks where you're just fighting for your life, just trying to figure it out. You're just trying to figure everything out.
I've described the first 30 days as one long day with a few naps sprinkled in.
And I think that's such an accurate description, like truly such an accurate description of like what that feels like. And I mostly remember you'd be like, oh, I'm going to go practice with the guys. And like, not very far away, like not for multiple days, like at a time where I was like sleeping alone here all the time, like not that at all. You would literally go and like go play for a couple of hours and then come home. Every once in a while, we would go with you as well. Like that was super fun. Like getting to be at the park with Michael, that was great. But there did come a point where, you know, that 4-month sleep regression hits and like all of these things are happening with the baby. And I still wasn't confident in handling all of it. And you were really fantastic about just pulling back on as many practices as you could and like pulling back as much as you could and still being there for the team. You coached the team, which was really cool. But I commend you for listening and just like pulling back and realizing like, okay, she needs help. We were like in pre-production for Bali High, writing Bali High, something like that.
Well, there were 2 seasons.
Yes.
First season went really well. We were writing.
Yes. We were writing during that.
And into pre-production as well.
Yeah.
The Winter League. So we made it to the finals of the first season in the C League, and then we got promoted to the B League, much higher level of competition.
Yeah.
When did I fracture my rib?
First game of the first season.
First game of the first season.
Mm-hmm.
Fractured 2 ribs. Had to sit out the entire season. It was determined that because we were going to be filming Bali High, I was not going to be allowed to play and risk injury. But I had essentially produced the whole team. I arranged the paperwork and the menu, the venue, the seating. And, you know, so I coached. Season 2, I was recovered, ready to play, but I think we had like 2 games before production started. And so then I had to like step aside.
It was a whole thing.
And then that was a whole thing. But yeah, thanks.
I say this because I really do commend you for listening and seeing that it was really difficult for me because I still had no idea what I was doing with the baby, and you would be gone for those times, and I was like, I don't know if I can handle this anymore. I'm like, I was worried. I was a new mom and I was anxious, and you did a great job, I think, of helping me at that point. And that was really, really appreciated. I think now I'm obviously way more confident in solo parenting. And like you said, he's older and a lot easier to take care of, I think, these days compared to the newborn days.
You're welcome.
But back to now. I think what is your favorite, is the zoo your favorite activity to do with him solo?
Yes, I love taking him to the park as well. But I like doing that with you. I mean, all these activities I also like when it's the 3 of us. When you're there at the park, you can, like we did today, you can throw the ball. He calls baseball, hit ball, run fast. And so he likes it when I'm holding him, he's holding the bat, you throw it, he swings, and then I like run around the bases with him.
Mm-hmm. It's so sweet.
I love that.
I'm also realizing as you're saying that both of our kids are very specific about how they like their sports.
Yeah.
Dee Dee stopped playing I like that we've now grouped Dee Dee into talking about our kids. Dee Dee stopped playing fetch when it was just one of us.
She has really taken on the role of big sister.
It's beautiful.
It's so sweet. But she will not fetch if the family is not together.
Mm-mm. You've taken her out. And
there's no play
no.
when there's work to be done.
There is. Michael. It's so funny. And I remember you coming home after a couple of times of just taking her solo to the park, solo parenting Dee Dee. And I remember you being like, maybe something's wrong. Like, she's just not playing as much. This is so weird. And then when we would go together, she was totally fine. And it's just because she likes it when one of us throws the ball to each other and the other throws the ball to Dee Dee. There's like a system that she likes.
There's that too.
There is definitely a system. Same with Michael. He loves when Mama pitches and Dada helps hit and everybody runs fast. He thinks that is so much fun. So I love how specific our kids are about their time with us and what our respective jobs are when we go and do an activity.
They are. They're fun.
I like... I haven't been able to do it in a minute, I think, because it's been so hot out. Coffee dates. Coffee shop dates with my babe.
Coffee dates.
When I used to just, like, take Michael and run to our, like, local coffee shop and...
Oh, yeah.
We would go get, like, just muffins and they sell smoothies there, so I always get him, like, a little baby smoothie. And he loves croissants and muffins, so he always gets a little treat there. And then our walk back home is so cute. Just the two of us. That's, for a while, that was like our big fun activity to go and do together.
What's hard about solo parenting?
If I get overwhelmed, there's no having to self-regulate, like, while he's still either having a tantrum or, like, asking me for maybe something that I'm not understanding. I think being overwhelmed and not being able to regulate away from him is really difficult. Not getting the mental break has always been a little tough.
Yeah.
How about you?
Just, you're in charge of all of it, so there's no delegation. It's making dinner, and like, once you've begun the task of dinner, there's certain things that just need to happen at a certain time. Like, the chicken needs to be flipped. Like, the pasta needs to, when it's boiling, Yeah. And he doesn't care or know. No. So you just gotta make that work.
I'll also say too that a lot of, I feel like this was a misconception for me, at least. We got him a, like, toddler tower to stand with us and help us with dinner and help us make things. Mm-hmm. And he does to an extent. Eggs are like a really fun thing that he gets to make with you.
Do you like making eggs with him?
And it's so sweet.
I love, yeah. Yeah. He throws the cheese on and it makes such a mess, but it's totally worth it, letting him do the cheese.
It's so, he's so proud of his work when he does it. Yeah. But it's so funny because I feel like when we got the toddler tower, I was like, you just see the videos of people online. Like, social media you just compare online all the time. And I feel like I saw videos of kids with the toddler tower and they were, like, so nicely cutting the bananas and, like, all their stuff. And they had their little, like, kitchen sets and stuff like that. So I guess my expectation was, okay, great. We'll get the toddler tower. It'll be nice and easy. Like, if Mick isn't here for making dinner, or if he's busy, then, like, it's easy. I'll put him in the tower. He'll help me with dinner. Because I always say kids don't want to be distracted. They want to be included, which is very true. But I feel like a lot of times it's like he just wants to hold the spatula and he's, like, swinging the spatula around everywhere. And then he has, like, his own little pots and pans set. And, like, that's, like, he's banging on stuff, or, like, he wants something in the sink. So sometimes I feel like the toddler tower almost, like, works against me because he's, like, making a separate mess in the kitchen while I'm trying to, like, get the food stuff done. And I'm like, oh no.
Yeah, and he can see everything. Mm-hmm. He's in a phase where his tantrums have gotten really illogical. And he's asking for things that he absolutely cannot have. Like, it'll be like a knife on the counter or something like that. But my favorite example was at the zoo the other day, and we saw the rhinoceros, and there's this big ball in the rhinoceros cage, and he goes, hold ball, hold ball.
Ignores the rhinoceros, by the way. Like,
No interest.
Usually not there. Finally there this day.
I know.
And then like
exciting.
Yeah, and we were excited about it. We were like, oh my gosh, this is here today.
Yeah.
He couldn't have cared less.
And, he'll gaslight you. He'll make you think, am I a bad parent for not letting my son in the rhino enclosure to hold that ball?
It's so true.
Hold ball. Should he get to hold that ball? He's making a valid case.
Like, we're sitting there looking at each other like, can we go get the ball? Is there a way that, like, we can make this happen for him? And then, like, no, of course not.
But then you know that he'll die such a fast, brutal death with that rhinoceros. You know he can't hold the ball.
So funny. It's so funny. He lost his marbles because he could not have that rhinoceros ball, and
so angry.
Yes. Yeah. Luckily we were able to divert pretty quickly. We went to the playground.
The playground was not that far away.
Yeah.
We got there fairly quickly.
But our kid was the one screaming, hold ball, until we got to the playground. So there was that. Hysterical. Completely illogical tantrums. He's almost 2.
I just don't know what to say to him in those moments. I think it is like divert usually. Do you have you had tactics that work well with these tantrums lately?
What I usually say if he can't have something anymore is that it has gone night-night.
This one's great. This one's great. Yeah.
It's just because he understands what night-night is. That was a Nana thing. I'll give Nana all of that one. She taught him basically like how to put his stuffed animals night-night, so he knows like if you get a blanket, if they're laying down, that's night-night. So he does he does the sign language. He says bed. So he knows that. He's very good about that. So I've talked about this before. We do big screens in our house. We don't let him use phones, so no little screens, but we let him watch Miss Rachel. He loves number blocks, big hit in our house. He loves Sesame Street and Elmo and all that stuff. So all educational shows, but we do let him have some big TV time. And every once in a while, he will say, like, watch Rah Rah, that's Miss Rachel, or watch Blocks for number blocks. And we don't let him have it all the time. A lot of times it's just like we're making dinner or we're getting ready or, it's to just help us get stuff done around the house. And I have literally been like, oh, Miss Rachel went night-night. Yeah. It's gotten to, sometimes we have these like fruit popsicles for him and he calls it Red, Lelo, or Iggy Aja. That's his word for ice cream, I guess.
Iggy is orange, Aja is ice cream. If you're a parent, that you're the only person who understands your child's language.
It's so funny.
If you don't know, we sound ridiculous right now. But yeah.
But I've literally had to be like, oh, red ice cream went night-night. It's night-night right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You use it for so many things. It's so funny.
So funny. And you know what? A lot of the time he's like, oh. And then he'll just move on to something else.
It's amazing.
And it works. So you know what? I know eventually he will understand that ice cream cannot go night-night. But right now, while he doesn't understand that, I'm going to ride that wave. And I'm going to be okay with that.
It works for now.
It does.
We'll figure out the rest later. We got on to solo parenting. And as you said, you had to teach your class. That was another time when I've been solo parenting a lot, when you've been teaching these online classes. And your students had an interesting question that I thought would be relevant to talk about on here. Agents and managers.
Yeah. Agents and managers.
Okay, so you were saying to me that your kids are doing a showcase, right? Where agents and managers, casting directors too?
Not sure if it's casting, but definitely agents and managers, yeah.
They're going to be coming, watching their scenes and monologues, and they're hoping to get signed.
Yeah. And I had asked you, I can just feel the stress of all of these kids about just getting signed by an agent or manager. I feel like it's the end all be all for a lot of actors, and they're like, if I get signed, like that's the ticket. It's like it's all gonna happen for me. That's not true. I think they have access to a lot of like great things, but what's baked into this curriculum that I have been teaching that you helped me create, so thank you, is I want my kids to learn how to use Actors Access and how to submit for themselves and how to create opportunities for themselves, because
it's a cool class. It's like a master class you've been teaching. It's like 8 weeks. Each class is
something different.
Yeah, and it's less about acting. It's more about how to be an actor. So
yeah, it's
really relevant.
One of the advanced classes at Actors Giving Back, just because I noticed that, one, I was getting a lot more questions about like the business side of all of it, but it was also like, you guys have been taking the acting classes for months now, so you guys have like learned so much in that, and I want to make sure that before we send them off into the world that they have the knowledge of the business side, because that is something that, one, I think it changes all the time now, and two, it's, you don't usually learn that in an acting class, and I think it's important for them to know. But yeah, there were a lot of questions about agents and managers, and I'd asked you, before my last class this weekend, I said, is there anything you could have heard me say at the point that you were doing your senior showcase at school that would have made it that would have just, would you have felt any less pressure about like getting an agent or manager had you heard me say something to you? Like, what could I have said to you? And what did you say?
I said, nope. Couldn't tell me a thing. Not as a senior at USC. USC Senior Showcase. I'm sure this is true for like pretty much any school.
Totally.
It's everything. You got into the school. That was hard. You auditioned for the showcase. You got accepted. That was hard. That was selective. That was competitive. You're hot stuff. Okay? And you're expecting a high level of agent and manager to be there because there are movie stars waiting to be discovered. Guess what?
What?
Wasn't the case.
Oh.
I'm expecting WME and CAA and all that. They're not there.
Right.
They're not there.
Right.
Maybe in the past they've like sent somebody from the mailroom obligatorily to be there and report back. But they're not there.
Nope.
And you're just not going to tell a college senior who's put in the work to be there that their showcase isn't the most important thing in the world.
Right.
They're just not going to listen. I wasn't going to listen. I mean, but, years down the road, you see agents and managers really aren't the end all be all. But I think it's really interesting catch-22, because then I talked to another young actor just the other day about it. She's, doing like email reach outs. And she's like, yeah, but I need one because they have access to the auditions. And how do I get that?
I mean, to which I said, like, that's why you submit on Actors Access. And, like, that's why you do the indie films and the student films. And, like, you just build your resume, because then, I don't know, I guess in my eyes, it's like then an agent or manager sees that and they're like, oh, they have experience. Like, so much of it is that casting and agents and managers just kind of want to see that you have some experience behind you. So I've heard before that it's just nice for them to know that, like, you won't screw up on a set. You know what I mean? Like, when you get on those bigger sets, you have just like something under your belt so that you're not like completely green.
Mm-hmm.
But she's right in saying that, like, yeah, to get into the big stuff, you do need an agent and manager. And So I get it when I hear all of these young actors tell me like I gotta get a callback. I gotta get an agent and a manager from this. Like this is gonna be it for me. And it's it's hard. You telling me that was so
Yeah.
helpful.
Yeah. It's an area where we've had completely different experiences.
Totally.
I did. You know what? It was so funny because then, okay, there were 16 of us in the USC Senior Showcase, and then the whole like 2 weeks after, everybody's talking about how many meetings did you get?
Oof.
I think I had one of the most. I had 5 follow-up meetings.
Let's go. That's great.
Yeah, I mean, does it matter? Like,
Yeah.
they were all at funny restaurants. Um, I signed with the person who took me to Chateau Marmont.
As you should.
Obviously.
Of course.
Um, and that was a manager. And then that person dropped me a year later. Um, I, they weren't great,
Right.
you know. But like I want to save what they said to me for when we're doing the press tour of Bali High, honestly.
It's really cool. Stay
Uh,
tuned.
so I'm not gonna just say what they said as they were letting me go, but yeah, a year later they let me go.
Yeah.
I've had some of the worst representation. I mean, laughable stuff.
Yeah.
I was with this agency that had like a sign on the door of like, don't call us, don't contact us, we are busy submitting you. If you try to speak to us, it will get in the way.
That's crazy.
They just treat actors who aren't stars like shit.
Yeah. It's really tough.
It's hard to be respected. It's hard to have any dignity
Yeah.
unless you're overly respected, and like it feels like the middle class actor is like a very like, where are those, just the working actors, the respected people, but that's a narrow window.
Yep.
Being a celebrity is a narrow window, and then so many of us are just we've trained hard, we care about this, we've given up a lot to do this, and you're just gonna be totally disrespectful.
Yeah. It's hard. That is such an honest take, and it's something that I feel like I try to relay to the class, but I am cautious of just how it's communicated to them, because I know hearing this can be a bummer. It really can be. Because then
I'm sure wiser people said stuff similar to what I'm saying
right.
now to me when I was 22.
Right.
And it was like, not me.
You're like, you don't know me at all. I'm a star.
Yeah.
And you are. I told them, basically the class ended today. Today was my last class. We watched their self-tapes. I made sure that they were ready for their showcase. Some of them want to be like voiceover artists, and they're so good. They really are so good. And so I was just kind of like getting them ready, and I wanted to make sure I saved time at the end for what you'd said, because I thought it was really important. I had a few students say like there was a lot riding on them getting an agent and a manager. And in the nicest way possible, I just wanted to remind them like, hey, I told them what you had told me. I said, I talked to Mick, and you talked to my class that very first week, which was awesome. They love you. I said, he did a senior showcase, and I asked if there was anything I could have, or he could have heard maybe that would have relieved some of the pressure. And he said no. He said there was basically nothing he could have heard that wouldn't make him feel like this showcase wasn't the most important thing in the world to him. And I was like, so I'm not going to try and tell you that this is not the most important thing in the world to you.
Good. Yeah.
Because I get it. I remember going when I was 15, like going into my acting classes and getting ready for showcase and like having to go up in front of all these people. It was scary, and like it felt so important, and I don't want to diminish that for them, but I just want to remind them like no matter what happens, you are all still very talented. And there are so many things that are out of your control as an actor, whether that's they have people who already look like you on their roster, or have a similar career to what you want, so they're not looking to sign somebody like that right now. Like there's so many other factors that have nothing to do with your talent that could be the reason that you didn't get a call back. So I just wanted to remind everybody that, like, if you don't get a call back, the only way that you fail as an actor is if you just give up. And there are going to be a lot of things that make you want to give up. But if you like really love it, don't give up. Just keep going. It's okay. So I think it was well received today. Thank you for solo parenting for the last 8 weeks so that I could teach this class. You do it it's not even just for this class. Like, you do it every time I have to do anything for my acting classes on the weekends.
Oh, of course.
So.
I love doing it. I love getting time just with Michael. And also, I love you. Love you, Stu. Just as I said, I've had such bad representation. My current agent, you're great. Didn't mean you.
We love Stu.
Stu, you're fantastic.
Stu is the best. And my team, I love y'all so much.
Your team is great.
My team is awesome.
Can you talk a little bit about your initial experience getting discovered by agent and manager?
Oof. Yeah, I mean...
totally different.
Totally different. I had an agent when I was 5. Through a showcase, though. Like, through a showcase with the acting class that I was in at the time. It was like just a kids acting agency, and then I literally just kind of like bounced around agencies for a while when I was a kid.
A kids acting agency.
Yeah.
Sorry, you were how old?
I was 5.
And that was how you got Mad TV, or that had already happened and then they discovered you because you did that?
No, I was in an acting class and they just did a showcase. I got signed by that.
Okay.
I went on my first audition for the Jungle Book 2 commercial. They needed kids to sing and dance around a tree, so I was sent to the audition, and the audition lasted all day long. I am told that I was so tired that in the like final interview portion of it on stage, I sat down on the stool and was waiting for them to ask me the questions, and I fell asleep and fell off the stool. I don't know how that translated to, you know what, she'd be great singing and dancing around a tree with Baloo. Let's hire her. So that's how that happened.
She's honest.
I
like that.
And yeah, like I don't know. That's the first audition they sent me out on.
Oh my God.
I just like kept going with it. It was great. And then I got my first manager when I was 10 through a singing competition that I did. And then I feel very lucky. Like, I had representation pretty much from then on. I like bounced around, but I feel like we lived by the philosophy of like, don't switch representation until you know like who your next representation will be. At least that was a philosophy when like I was growing up. So that's what ended up being. And then I had the same agent from like a couple years before True, like all the way through Bucket and Skinner probably. And then I want to say like I switched at that point. But my like core team has stayed the same since then, genuinely. My current manager was my agent during the times of like a lot of my like Nickelodeon and Disney stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I love her. She's like my family. My agents have also been there since that time. My like one of my agents was the assistant to the agents that I had when I was doing True Jackson VP. So she's known me since I was like 14, 15 years old.
Yeah.
So she's been with me throughout everything, and she like climbed the ranks and is an incredible agent, and like I've been with her forever. So I've had a lot of luck in my like agents and managers, and I feel like I have like a real team. So that is why I brought you into the conversation with teaching my class, because I know I've had a different experience, and I know I've been very, very lucky with my agents and managers and in my career, obviously. So I knew you'd done senior showcase, and I knew that you had experience and like could feel the pressure that I know that these kids were feeling. So I was like, I can preach to the choir all I want about like it's okay. You can self-submit. You can still do things on your own and create your own opportunities. But they're going to look at me and be like, girl, you've had representation since you were 5 years old. Like, what are you talking about? So it was really helpful to have a different perspective and for them to have met you, and they think you're so successful and like a great actor, and like my kids love you.
That's so kind.
So, yeah. So I was like, I want to make sure I bring you into the conversation, and
that's very nice. But I've been in the trenches with them. I know where they are.
I know.
Oh, man. It's so scary. It's so intimidating. All of it's so intense.
Mm-hmm. So much of it was like, do I do a comedic scene and then like a dramatic monologue and then like maybe what's the third thing that I submit, because I can submit 3 different things, and it was just like figuring out the math of all of that and then asking them, because the real question is, to me, the real question then becomes like, well, where do you see yourself going in your career? Which is an even bigger question. And then you're like, oh my God, I have to think of where I see myself in like 10 years. What are you talking about?
You know what I think I've concluded?
Yeah.
I think Senior Showcase is the most important thing in the world.
Really?
I'm going to disagree with myself. I mean, no, the kids, you know what? They have a point. They're not going to listen. They shouldn't listen. They're right.
It's important.
Nothing matters more.
It's important. Do you feel like you learned a lot from that experience?
Yeah, I'm kidding. I mean, you know, I think that's just growing up. Like everything feels like the most important. Just like
totally.
You don't know what this is, but senior prom, winter formal, homecoming, these things feel like the most important thing when they're happening. SATs.
I took those.
You took those. Like, I don't know, whatever it is.
It feels important.
It's got to be the most important thing at the time when you're doing it. Because you're doing it. It's what you're doing.
It's kind of a side, like, just kind of a tangent here, but we've talked about love at that point in your life. Like, when you're a teenager, how sometimes, you know what I mean? Like,
you could not tell me.
So important.
That I was not going to marry my 5th grade girlfriend.
Right.
I knew it.
Like, those feelings are so big. And I remember being really frustrated at adults who would be like, oh, it's just a crush, or like, oh, it's nothing. And to diminish like what that feels like it's like so heartbreaking.
Exactly. That's why I said, don't try to tell them that this isn't the most important thing, because it is for them right now.
Yes.
And just lean in.
Yes. 10 years from now, they're going to be like, oh my God, she was right. Like, I've been submitting myself. I've created opportunities for myself. In 10 years, hopefully less, they'll be like, oh,
as they're accepting their Oscar, they'll say, I'd like to thank my agent and manager who did not sign me out of that showcase.
Right. Exactly. You'll see. You'll all see. All that to say, thank you for giving me the time to go teach those kiddos. I don't think a lot of it fell on deaf ears. I think they understood a lot of it, even if it doesn't all come into practice right now. I think it's a really worthwhile and valuable class. I really enjoy teaching it and helping the newbies come into the fold. It's a lot of fun to like watch them grow over those 2 months.
It was great talking to them. You're a great teacher.
Thank you.
They clearly love your class. And I think it's so cool that you came up with the curriculum that you did. I think it's stuff we talk about on Mismo all the time. Like, acting's not easy, but I think the harder part is being an actor. I think being an actor is harder than acting.
Absolutely.
And so giving them some tools of how to be an actor, how to survive in a big city where you are pursuing the arts.
I mean, we get into it. The first class is literally like the finances of being an actor. I rip that Band-Aid off just because I'm like, and I say before I start the class too, I'm like, I'm not trying to scare you, but I do want to just be very honest with you about what it is, because you should know what you're getting yourself into.
A lot of them are living in a smaller town and like, hey, I'm saving money to maybe move to LA. Like, do you think I'm ready? What else should I do to get ready? Right. It's a
it's a real question.
Great question to ask before you get here. Yeah.
You also inspired one of the weeks of classes, which was just how to exist on a set, and like just the logistics of like when you book a job, then what happens? Like, who reaches out? Do you have to do anything? Like, what paperwork ends up needing to be done? Like, what do you have to bring to set with you? Like a set bag, bringing a charger with you is always really smart. Like, just those like little things, just anything I can do to prepare everybody for like when you do get that first job. These are like little helpful tips that you probably won't really know until you're like on a set multiple times. So like, here's the tips, enjoy them, use them at your leisure, have fun, and like go be on set. Like, hopefully it alleviates some of the pressure.
Yeah. Well, I was happy to give you the time to go and take those classes. I love being with our boy.
I was happy to give you the time to go skiing for the first time in 17 years. I'm so proud of you. Let me also, I forgot to say this at the beginning. You did it on the tails of the shin splints.
Yeah.
So congratulations.
I was diligent with my recovery because I got back from Nashville with the shin splints. I had 2 weeks to recover, and I did just in time.
Incredible. And you didn't get hurt. That was. I feel like you said that multiple times before you left.
I brought the ice packs up and did the ice packs for both of the aunties and dad. Everybody loved the ice packs.
We love the ice packs.
Been really getting into regeneration and recovery. We'll talk more about that on our next Fit Happens check-in. But ice.
Ice has been a godsend. I've been icing my knees. I feel great.
Yeah. Great. Joints feel great.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm ready to conclude this now.
Me too. That was
okay. Well, do you like that as a new ending?
I think it's a little stiff. Let's workshop it.
This has ended and it is now over.
It's over. It's is it the Dame Sober?
Sober.
No, is it Dame? No, not Dame.
It's Vince Carter.
Vince Carter. I'm sorry. That was my bad.
In reference to the dunk contest. He does a great dunk.
Sober. That's how I'm going to end it now. I usually do a cute little salute, but today I'm going to go.
I was holding because sober.